guys, welcome back. Today I am working in my October album again. Today I'm going to do a little fold out page. I've got this really cute little photo of Lil. Again, it's got nothing really to do with like spookiness, but it is a fun little photo, so I decided to use it. Now, I had created these little Polaroid shakers almost immediately after Anna from Ephemeris 32 on Instagram. She shared some that she had made out of kind of a holographic card, and I thought that would be perfect for my album, so I went ahead and just immediately made 3 of them. It was so simple. I used a Polaroid metal die that I had from a long time ago. I die cut 2. I encased a page protector in between them, stitched around 3 sides, added some sequins, and then stitched the top and then cut off the extra page protector. So super easy, and it leaves me with these little shaker elements. So I want to use this to my fold out. Now what I've gone ahead and done already is I had this black cardstock. I think from memory it's about 9 inches long by 4¼ inches high, and I've just folded it at 5 inches so that I've got this flap here. Now I went back into my die stash so you can see here, this is the Polaroid die that I used, and I knew I had some of these square dies, so instead of, I first thought I would sort of hand cut it out with a knife maybe. This square die that I've got is from Studio Calico. It's not exactly the same size as the hole from the middle of the Polaroid, but it's close enough that I think it's going to be fine. It gives me a little bit of extra room. You can see the opening on the inside there, but you see enough of the shaker, and I'm going to add some little extra elements in here, so I think it's going to be fine. What I'm going to do is adhere this Polaroid to the actual flap, and very luckily, because I wasn't sure how I was going to actually do that, but I've got some red line tape that is, it's almost exactly the right width, so it works nicely. I'm going to add that on the 3 sides, and then I'm going to add just some regular double-sided tape down the bottom. Because I have stitched this frame, those very thin edges are a little bit lumpy, so I'm making sure that that is stuck down really well, and then I'm going to pull the backing off and adhere that to the front side of my flap on my cardboard there, and that will give me a little see-through window onto the inside. So I do very quickly give up trying to use my nails to pull this tape apart. This is like not the branded red line tape, it's from like the dollar store, so it's a little bit harder to peel that backing off, but once I get it all done, and I'm also not going to be like super precise about adhering this down, I just want to get it roughly middle, but like I said, because of the page protector and the kind of shine, you can't exactly see that that window is not the exact same size as the Polaroid. So you can see when I glue my photo in on behind that flap there, the photo shows really nicely through the little window, but that flap also covers up the entirety of my photo. So it means I can add a few little bits and pieces, and I'm going to add just this little tag. So this is a die cut from the digital version of Hey Pumpkin. I thought it worked perfectly with my photo to kind of tie it into my Halloween-y theme. So this little digital tag, just to make it seem a little bit more real, I'm going to add some thread to the top here. Found some black and white twine in my stash. I'm just going to tie that through the top. I like those kind of dangly elements, and it helps those digital pieces just feel a little bit more real. Now boy, did I struggle with trying to get this thing attached. I thought I had it all figured out. I'm going to add a couple of pieces of double-sided tape down the bottom, and then I'm working out here that if I add a strip of this very thin red line tape to one side, it will adhere to the cardstock, but not to the piece that's going to sort of hang off my flap, except that I put it on the wrong side. So I go to stick it all down, flip it over, and realize, oh damn, wrong side. So I have to peel the thin tape off and add another piece to the right side, because obviously I flipped the tag over to add the tape, so brain was not clearly working at this point. So I'm going to add that piece and stick it down, but then I realized the larger pieces of double-sided tape that I've put down the bottom, they fully stick out the edge. So I decided I could peel them off. So I'm going to use a knife, and I'm just really gently running that down the edge of my cardstock so that it cuts through the tape but not through the actual die cut piece. And then I can just peel it off, and in the end it all worked nicely. But what a performance that was to try to get that adhered. I'm going to add this little die cut bat too because he's just totally cute, and I'm going to do much less adhesive on him, so just one piece behind his body. You can see the adhesive through the window of this flap when you fold it over, but I'm not super bothered by it. I'm just going to ignore it for now. So I like how that looks, but I decided I want something on the inside of my photo so that when you flip it open, it's not just a plain photo. So I'm going to add one of these little cardstock stickers. I like to add a little bit of the orange back in because when you've got that open there, you can see the orange sequins. And I decided to add a little transparent sticker. These are one of the ones that I printed myself on clear sticker paper because there was one that says, "Hey pumpkin," and I do call Lil, my pumpkin, an awful lot. So I figured that would be nice. And then I'm going to add a few of these little iridescent stars just for a bit more decoration, but also because I want to add some on the front here, some of that same iridescence, just to, I think, add a little bit more to this cluster down the bottom. And I call it a cluster, it's literally just a tag, but just to tie those two things together so that when you flip it open, it's got a little bit of consistency there. Now on the opposite side of this, I got a bit confused with my page protectors here and when I was printing out photos, so I'm going to add a couple of filler cards in here. I've got these ones were all part of like a cut apart sheet in that 12 by 12 Hey Pumpkin pad. So I'm adding the October one because what I want is kind of a double paged 3 by 4 spread in here. And I have added another one of those filler cards into the back of this photo, but I'm just going to pull that out for now and leave it sort of until my next video. So this photo here is of my very loosely Halloween themed cocktail that I made myself, and I thought it would go perfectly with this Keep Calm and Eat candy filler card, but what I'm going to do is change the sentiment a little bit. So I'm going to add a label onto my photo, and I want to run that through my typewriter, but obviously that label is super tiny. This is a digital label that I printed out from Kelly Stamps, so I just loosely adhered that to a scrap piece of card so that I could run it through my typewriter, and then I can go ahead and add that onto my photo. So the whole thing says keep calm and eat candy, or make yourself a delicious cocktail. And because I knew that my sentiment was going to read like that, I had pulled out that little poison bottle die cut, and I was reasonably certain I had some more, like in sticker form. It turns out I don't, because I kind of wanted to add more than one. But what I did have is I had some stickers from the digital kit that I had print and cut myself on my silhouette that I've been using in my planner throughout the month of October. So I went and dug those out, and I knew I had some poison bottles on there. So I'm going to add a couple more on here. So 2 on the little card, and then I'm going to remove the pumpkin sticker that I had popped on and add the 3rd one over on this side just to tie those two separate elements together, and that gives me my little spread. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing throughout this album, which is take those over to my sewing machine, stitch the pockets shut, and then trim them down so I have 3 by 4 pockets. Then all I've got left to do is pop that into my album, and that's my next little spread all finished. I hope you have been treating yourself to a few October goodies, if not a fancy cocktail, at least some candy. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye!